For 12 seasons, The Big Bang Theory presented us with a group of brilliant physicists, socially awkward geniuses, and a tight-knit circle of friends navigating adulthood together. But beneath jokes about comic books and quantum mechanics, the show also tells a story about gender, relationships, and what society expects from women. Two of the show's central female characters, Penny and Bernadette Rostenkowski-Wolowitz, both make something very clear at different points in the series. They are very upfront about not wanting children. And yet, by the end of the show, both characters end up becoming mothers. Bernadette ends up having 2 children, even after repeatedly insisting that she did not want kids. And Penny, who also repeatedly insists she doesn't want children, ends the series pregnant. So, what happened? Did these women change their minds? Or does this show reveal something deeper about the cultural expectations placed on women? In this video, I'm exploring how The Big Bang Theory reflects a powerful social ideology, the belief that no matter what a woman says, motherhood is ultimately her natural destiny. A common phrase that child-free women often hear is, "You'll change your mind." It's often framed as reassurance, but it carries a deeper assumption that women don't truly understand their own desires. Their rejection of motherhood is seen not as a legitimate choice, but rather a temporary misunderstanding of their own nature. And this is exactly the narrative arc that The Big Bang Theory is ultimately reinforcing. Bernadette initially resists having children, but eventually accepts and even enjoys motherhood. Penny spends much of the final season clearly articulating that she does not want kids, only for the final episode to reveal that she's suddenly pregnant, and not only is she pregnant, but she's happy about being pregnant. And so the message becomes clear. A woman may say she doesn't want children, but in the end, she will. Philosophers and sociologists often describe this cultural expectation as pronatalism. Pronatalism is the belief that having children is not just a choice, but actually a moral or natural obligation. Within pronatalist culture, motherhood is treated as the default life path for women. A woman who rejects this path is seen as incomplete or selfish or even just simply mistaken. And what makes The Big Bang Theory particularly interesting is that it initially allows its female characters to question this norm. But by the end of the show, the narrative has corrected them, and motherhood has become the inevitable conclusion for both of these women. This is where the ideas of the French philosopher Michel Foucault become especially useful. Foucault argued that power in modern societies doesn't operate through force, or at least it rarely operates through force. Instead, power works through normalization. Society establishes certain behaviors as normal, and individuals gradually internalize these expectations. Nobody is forcing Penny or Bernadette to have children, and there's no moment where they are explicitly coerced or compelled. Instead, they're surrounded by subtle pressures. Friends asking them when they will have kids, partners expressing a desire for children, social jokes about biological clocks. And over time, the expectations of motherhood becomes so normalized that resisting it begins to feel unnatural. And eventually, the characters adjust themselves to the norm. There's also something about the genre of sitcoms that pushes stories towards traditional endings. Historically, sitcoms tend to restore a sense of social order by the end of the series. Characters grow up, they settle down, they have families. So marriage and children seem to function as, I guess, a sort of narrative closure, the symbolic markers of adulthood and stability. So when The Big Bang Theory approached its final season, the writers probably faced this narrative pressure, and leaving Penny happily child-free might have disrupted this traditional sense of closure, whereas pregnancy neatly completes the story. the group is no longer just a collection of quirky young adult friends, but they have become families. They have followed this traditional social order that we see time and time again, not just in the genre of sitcoms, but in general life as well. What makes this trope particularly interesting is that it almost exclusively affects female characters. Male characters in the show are rarely forced to revise their life choices in the same way. I mean, Raj ends up alone by the end of the series, whereas Penny, who never wanted to be a mother, is becoming a mother. When women express a desire that conflicts with traditional gender roles, as did Penny and Bernadette, the narrative needs to be bent somehow to correct it. Bernadette's resistance to motherhood is eventually framed as something that she simply needed to overcome, or things just needed to be changed around a little for her to be comfortable or happy at the thought of motherhood. And Penny's rejection of children or having children completely disappears in the final episode. There are no indications that Penny is second-guessing being pregnant or is fearful or that she still has to decide what she wants to do. It's sort of just accepted that, yes, Penny is now pregnant. She's going to become a mother. So in both cases, the character's autonomy has been rewritten. So what message does this ultimately send? In short, it suggests that motherhood is not simply one possible path among many, but it's the natural endpoint of a woman's story. Even women who reject motherhood will eventually arrive there. And this reflects a broader cultural narrative that shapes how society views women who choose to remain child-free. Their decisions are rarely treated as final, and instead, not wanting to have children is thought of as a temporary phase. It's a misunderstanding, or it's a mistake that needs to be corrected. The Big Bang Theory is remembered primarily as a sitcom about science, nerd culture, and friendships. But like all media, it also reflects deeper societal assumptions. And in the case of Penny and Bernadette, the show ultimately reinforces one of the most persistent expectations placed on women, which is that motherhood is not just an option, it's your destiny. And even if a woman says she doesn't want children, the story assumes that she will eventually change her mind. And I think this tells us less about these characters and more about the cultural narratives that we still struggle to imagine beyond.